All right, welcome back and thank you for staying with Business Today. Today we are talking about business networking, which is a very, very integral thing, especially when it comes to how we conduct ourselves in business and different forums that we usually attend. And joining us is Elizafan Muraguri, who is a franchise holder at Business Network International. Thank you for still sticking with us.
Yes.
All right, so before we went for break, we were speaking about how someone needs to carry themselves. Of course, you've met in an event or a forum and you've shared your contacts the way we were speaking about now the digital side. Now, you've scheduled a meeting, you've said, okay, let us meet at this place, let us have coffee. So, okay, so what next then after that? So is that all from the networking that you need to do, or what goes into that now?
There are two things that you may need to plan ahead. You have had coffee. I mean, you have done the digital follow-up. Now you go to the next step, you have coffee. And then the next thing is, can I get to know what exactly you're looking for? In BNI, we say exchange gains sheet.
Yes.
We exchange, what are your goals? What are your interests? What are your networks? What are your skills? So going through that, you're able to learn about the other person. Remember, the aim is not to sell. But the aim, if you don't buy and sell to each other, the aim is, okay, I've been looking for this person. Who do you know who? Even if we don't end up doing business, you become my referral partner. And I tell you, you know, I've been struggling to get to the editor, KTN, and then he says, that's my brother. So you now take it to the next level where you're still able to generate a referral, not from the person you're having coffee with, but it is not about whom do you know. It is how well do you know the person that I'm looking for. That is now the next level of connection. That yes, I can see we are not able to do business, but it doesn't mean that's the end of the road. You ask me exactly who do you know? I tell you I know the following people. I can help you with these contacts and you can help me with these contacts. So we've gone to tier 2 level of networking where we are not selling to each other, we are selling through each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very well explained. And when we look at also another different aspect, those involved in business to business kind of interactions or deals, how do they make sure that at least they have this particular sort of connection, even after, for example, someone comes from Ghana and someone comes from Kenya, but they trade together. So how do they make sure that they create this particular relationship in order for them to do business together from one country to the other?
The good thing about nowadays, you do not have to travel to Ghana to meet this person. You can use the technology to still practice level 1, level 2 of networking and get to know exactly. Let's say this person wants to do business in Kenya, and you want to do business in Ghana. You can list down exactly what you need, and he lists down exactly what he wants, but then you need to work on the challenges that may come in between the two of you. What are the challenges that may come in between the two of you? 1, communication, if the person is from Japan and you need to speak Japanese.
Yes.
Number 2, the tax regime for both companies. The supplier will be taxed in a different range compared to the buyer.
Yes.
So the two of you need to, you need to look at the tax regime. Number 3, integrity. You need to be people of integrity so that you can trust each other. Number 4, of course, kickbacks and corruption won't help you take this relationship further. So we can go online and do everything, but we need also to look at the challenges that may happen in between and see how best can we clear so that we end up doing business. There are so many opportunities to do business this part of the world. It's just that people do not know how. Yes.
Okay. And now, also still sticking with business to business, let us look at those entering business to business deals with counterparts in other countries. What are some of the common issues involving this particular relationship, or those ones? Now let us look at people who are entering in this particular. They've not done it before. They are now trying. And they are now, it's like an introduction into this. What do they need to do in order for them to create this particular
Let me answer that with a question. Suppose you board a plane And the pilot says, ladies and gentlemen, this is Moraguri, your pilot. Soon, in 5 minutes, I'll be coming around serving you tea and coffee. Would you fly? Why? It's because, let's say he says, I just got my license yesterday. And I'll be coming around to serve you tea and coffee.
Yes.
You may not fly. So nobody wants to do business with someone who is trying. So just be honest and trust. You have to be honest. Say exactly where you are so that you can earn trust. You can give business to any person. You could have someone who is 6 months old in business, sorry. And that person, you may wonder whether he's going to deliver. So you, as my supplier, I need you to explain exactly where you are, your challenges, and say why you need me. Because I've been in this business for 15 years, and you've just entered. Yes. So you need time, and you need to develop trust with this person. And we say, TTT, trust takes time. Yes.
Trust takes time.
Yes.
Okay, that is something I've learned today. All right, so when you look at business networking and going forward with the technology coming in and different innovations that are making people connect to each other, and people can now communicate. Someone is in the US, someone is in Kenya, but they can still communicate very well, even through video calls. Going forward with business networking and technology, how is technology going to be improving this particular kind of sector?
In BNI, one of our core values is traditions and innovations. So we are not saying because we are online, we stop our traditions of meeting face-to-face. In fact, I say, what is the greatest desire of people who are dating online? Meet face-to-face.
Yes.
So don't ignore the face-to-face, but let them complement each other. And the future is going to be challenging, especially now when we embrace AI. I mean, you will need to learn and understand AI for you now to go and implement that before you meet someone else. The challenges, in fact, what we are looking at is that most businesses will either close or innovate. Again, what I was thinking when I was just seated here, I said, you either are getting disrupted or you are disrupting. So which side are you? If you are disrupting, that's a positive side to be. If you're getting disrupted, that's something to worry about.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Even as you've mentioned, that some business will have to close and some businesses will still remain. So for businesses that have to close, what do they need to do?
Innovation.
Okay.
Yes. And they need to invest time in learning how they can reinvent themselves. But they also need to look at their products and services. Some of these things will not be needed in the future. So innovation may require you to find another service or another product that you can now match and compete with other people in the market. So the future is quite scary for business people. If you're just seated there reading novels and expecting this to happen, no. Yeah.
All right. Let's look at conducting business in East Africa.
Yeah.
Conducting business between Kenya, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania. Of course, the East African bloc.
Yeah.
With the networkings, what can we learn from our neighboring countries in what they do? Because I believe from where you sit and from your expertise, you've seen how they conduct their businesses and their trade as well. So what can we pick as a country?
I can answer that through my experience, what I've seen. BNI, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. Most of them, they are trading with each other. They are trading through online. We call it BNI Connect, from your phone to my phone. But when they come, whoever comes here will call me or call someone and say, I'm here to meet XYZ. How well do you know? So you need to do what is it, a reference?
Yes,
check.
A background
Even though
check.
we are running BNI, we still insist on you doing background check on the person that you're dealing with. The good thing about East Africa, we can talk on the phone and I can fly there in 1 hour and I meet you.
Yes.
I see your office, I see your employees. Then that is when my confidence level starts to rise about you. The good thing about East Africa. We have had members who have done business in Malaysia, China, America, South Africa through BNI without having met.
Yes.
But they have invested a lot in credibility and in integrity. So we also need to work within ourselves to say, am I trustworthy? Am I credible before I take that phone and call this person? But as I said, reference check. Even if we are in BNI or whichever business you're doing, you need to do a background check. Otherwise, you lose your money, just like out there.
Let us look at the global network. Because you've mentioned Malaysia, you've mentioned Asia, and the US as well, and how we conduct businesses with them. Through the networks that we have, what are the gaps in terms of how we do our business and how the global field do their business? Of course, the East African bloc, when you look at how we carry our business and how the US is doing their business, what is the difference? And is there anything we can borrow from each other?
Yes, I think there is the cultural element behind it. The way we do business in BNI, BNI East Africa is not the way you'll do it with BNI Malaysia. In fact, I love the Asian countries where trust is trust is a currency. That someone would say, deliver this and I'll pay tomorrow, and it happens. That is different when it comes to East Africa.
That's true.
Yes. So, and that is our culture of we don't know how to say yes. We don't know how to say no, we are on the fence, maybe. But in other countries, I've seen, Asian countries, I cannot talk on behalf of others, I see trust is a big currency.
Okay.
Yeah, and especially Japan, India. I have not had any case of someone defrauding someone. And also giving a bounce check or not paying. No. That is, the cultural element is quite big when it comes to now. You need to know what the other country, or the other BNI member in that country requires in order for you to deliver.
Okay.
So you don't just take their words for granted. You don't just take their words for it. You have to invest in background check. That's all that I can say, because our cultural differences is quite big, just like in food. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. Now, let's also talk about the, of course, upcoming BNI Africa convention that is going to be happening. So who are you expecting to come, and what are some of the gains that someone who wants to connect or wants to network with people can go there and say, okay, I went and this is something I picked?
Based on the people who have registered, we have attendees from Uganda, attendees from Kenya, and attendees from Tanzania. And we are picking up some members and non-BNI members from India. But it's open for BNI members and non-BNI members. And our theme and our objective that day is education. We have speakers who are going to talk about the IT, the effect of technology. We have speakers who are going to talk about SME financing. That is one, education. Number two, we have entertainment. Of course, in any networking, if you do not have breaks, then it can get boring sitting from 6 to 6.
Okay.
We have some entertainment. And finally, we will train even the non-BNI members how to network.
Okay.
You get?
All right.
So there'll be a lot. But the main theme is business breakthrough. That you have not made it and you want to have a breakthrough, just show up. Yeah, and we'll be able to help.
All right, thank you for that. And I will be looking, of course, forward to that particular convention.
You
to
can come.
At least network. There's no problem in that. All right, so finally, even as we are wrapping up this particular conversation, going forward, we've been, of course, we usually have different seasons within the year. There are seasons where businesses are not really doing very well. There are seasons where businesses are really doing very well. And of course, there are stagnant times. So going forward, how does a business make sure throughout these different seasons, it stays afloat and it stays in the network in which it started with? That zeal that was there, you just maintain it throughout.
There's something that I say. In BNI, we believe that most businesses thrive when there is chaos. Most businesses in BNI thrive when there is uncertainty, because it is only when you're feeling lonely that you need people. So go to where people are. There are so many people willing to help you, especially when you're so lonely. That is the place to be. So all that I can say is that it is during chaos that we need each other. It's not during the time of harvest when you are making so much money. Actually, the more money you make, yes, the more you may feel you don't need network. But if you keep your friends close in terms of referrals, they'll always be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on Business Today. We have to wrap up this particular conversation.
Thank you.
That is Mr. Elizaphan Muraguri, who is a franchise holder at Business Network International, just giving us tips on business networking and how it is important for the economy going forward. We've come to the end of this particular edition of Business Today. My name is Kelvin Yakundi. Mbia KTN is coming up next.